2 Star Station spawning in the top left position as the blue Terran player from Team Acer. He's up 1-0 in this best of 3. It is INnoVation. And spawning in the bottom right position as the red Terran player from Team Millennium, it is forGG. So forGG tried to do the Cloak Banshee attack. INnoVation said, I'm going to open up really defensively with a Raven and then just kill you with 2 Siege Tank push. And use the Vikings to just zone you away. Use the medevac to keep some of the units alive as much as possible. And forGG, he folded under the pressure. It was very, very powerful. He had to pull all his SCVs to hold the attack off, but he just lost too much. He lost too much. And now is his opportunity to try to take things another step forward, try to bring it back. He's going to open up gas first. So he's going for the same kind of style that INnoVation opened with on Polar Night. Star Station's a pretty good map for this. And INnoVation's going to open up Barracks Gas. So the shoe is almost on the other foot. I think INnoVation will actually open up Reaper on this map, but forGG probably going to go Cloak Banshee again. I would be surprised if he went straight for anything like Raven. Mostly because forGG likes to have that aggressive option. And it's just a matter of INnoVation defending really well on the last game. So where does he go with this? Well, we're about to find out as the gas is being mined now. The barracks is getting close to being complete for basically both of these players. forGG will, of course, get his factory up faster, especially with the investment of gas into the Reaper. INnoVation will have opportunities to do damage with the Reaper, but it's going to be interesting to see, to say the least. And he's waiting for the gas. There is the Reaper. So Reaper versus gas first openings is classically considered to be one of those things that either win games or do nothing at all. And by that I mean sometimes the Reaper can get in and pick off Marines very early and do lots of damage. And sometimes you don't build Marines and a Reaper just comes and kills you. So forGG is playing with fire. He has no units and he's building a very fast reactor for this factory. And that could allow him to get fast Hellions out, but if the Reaper gets there in time, he can actually really hurt forGG. It's moving out. This is going to be interesting. I mean, he can still get the Hellion. I don't think this will end the game, but he could take a lot of damage. Command Center's on the way back at the natural for INnoVation. And he's just going to do 1 Reaper, which is fine. You don't need to build more than 1 Reaper unless you think your opponent is also opening Reaper. Then obviously you don't want to die to their Reaper getting, some sort of first attack off. And he's going to jump in. The starport's on the way. The Reaper comes in. We'll be able to kill this. There's no Marines. He has to wait for the Hellion to come out to actually catch this. So he delays the starport's construction. forGG sends in another SCV. And now with 2 Marines and a Hellion, he's fine. He's totally fine. He can defend against this. Easy peasy. So INnoVation wasn't trying to kill his opponent. He was just, he's doing a bit of a pulse. I like to call it a pulse check. Making sure he's alive at his computer. And the starport is delayed a little bit, which is nice because INnoVation can just get his setup a little bit faster as the reactor does come close to completion for the Acer Terran. And the Reaper's still here to try to, obviously hold away any SCVs or any other aggression. So the factory's going to move on to the reactor. And, now begins the Hellion production for INnoVation. Medevac on the way for forGG. So it looks like this is going to be forward Hellion pressure with a Marine drop. And this is this is actually a very classic Terran versus Terran opening that allows you to just do tons of damage if you can catch your opponent off guard. Mostly because the medevac healing power medevac's heal hit points pretty much faster than regular Marines can deal damage. So you will have a very hard time actually killing the Marines from this drop with just a handful of naked Marines. And INnoVation, with the Hellion production he's putting out, should actually be able to hold this off without too much trouble. He's even getting a Viking to help zone away the medevac. But he does need to be careful with how he moves his units out. The Reapers with this, the Hellions with this Reaper getting into a very forward position. He's going to pull back a little bit. And forGG actually drops all the Marines out here. So it looks like forGG wants to get a head-on engagement, which I can't really fault him for. But INnoVation's Hellion count is getting very high. Is he just going to go for it now? INnoVation's actually bringing his SCVs a bit preemptively, I feel, but he wants everything to hold this attack off with. forGG's getting some good shots off, actually. And these Hellions actually do a lot of damage to the Marines, but he will finally be able to clean most of this up. INnoVation, I'll take some, wow, really good shots on the Hellions from forGG. He got those Hellions to line up. He kills not only the SCVs, but this whole standing army of INnoVation. And behind this, well, the Viking does pick off a few more. That Viking has 5 kills. That is uncommon for a Viking to get 5 kills on the ground like that. But forGG's next level of the attack. Couple Marines. He's got a siege tank. I think forGG is going to give INnoVation a sip of his own medicine. He's going to be like, yeah, man, have some of that really awful tasting cough syrup, because I've got 2 siege tanks now, and I'm going to attack you. Raven's on the way for INnoVation. He's still putting out just Hellions, but Hellions have a really hard time dealing with tank-based compositions like this. In fact, one of the best ways to take these out is you need to just have so many Hellions that you can just sandwich the opposing army. And now his Hellions are going on the field, so he might actually see this coming ahead of time. What does he do to prepare? Doesn't kill any Marines just yet. And forGG, very smart. He tucks the Marines behind the siege tank so that he can make sure they stay alive. The Hellions won't be able to snipe them or kite them at all. As this Raven gets closer to completion, and he's just pumping out Hellions. At some point, he basically has to just sandwich him between the SCVs and the Hellions. But if he moves everything in here and gets bottlenecked, that's where things get ugly. And INnoVation, what's he going to do? He lands the Vikings. He's got more Hellions. He's got the Raven. But the Vikings for forGG are going to make things tough. The SCVs have been pulled. Will this be enough? forGG's getting the second siege tank siege. He's going to kill this barracks off, which means no more factory production. And here comes everything. The Hellions, the SCVs, the Vikings. The Marines are doing a pretty solid job at dealing with this. All of the Hellions but 2 are gone. There's still a handful of Marines. And INnoVation losing just about everything, but he's going to manage to pick off at least a few of the tanks. There's another siege tank here, though. The Vikings still alive for forGG. And what remains is just 2 Hellions. A few more are going to pop out. He has a siege. Actually, almost was going to build a siege tank, but he just has more Hellions in production. And now forGG has sieged up the natural expansion of Acer INnoVation. He's building a bunker for the handful of Marines that he does have here, and just trying to retreat, stay very close to his siege tank, so that these Hellions can't get any good shots off. And INnoVation, he's in a tough spot, because the Vikings can also push this Raven away. Auto turret's very good, of course. The Raven, the auto turrets only cost energy. INnoVation's actually pulling more SCVs down. Maybe he's just going to try to go for it, and it seems that's what he's going to do. The bunker is here, though. forGG has this to hide behind. The siege tank's getting surrounded by the Hellions. Bunker completes. These Marines are going to go ham, and the siege tank's just kind of sitting back. The Vikings land once again. INnoVation loses everything, and forGG looking dominant in this game number 2 of this best of 3 here at the Dailymotion Cup. He is just blasting INnoVation down. He's got 23 SCVs to 21 because forGG's still on 1 base. All INnoVation needed to do was not die, but that seems to be less and less likely. His blue flame upgrade is going to be done soon, but I don't know if that will be enough to swing things back. The siege tanks, 1 on the low ground, 1 moving up to the high ground. He can't get close enough to kill everything off. This command center is going to die, it seems. Barely getting repaired in time somehow. The Vikings pull away, giving it a little bit of a mercy living, but now it falls. Command center detonates over the other command center, and INnoVation has been locked in. A Banshee finishes close. There's the scan. The Marines with the Vikings pick the Banshee off, and he is going to kill off everything that INnoVation has. He does manage to take out the Marines, but the Vikings land once again, and the Hellions just aren't that good versus them with the siege tank cover fire. INnoVation loses absolutely everything. 2 Hellions remain, another Hellion to pop out, but that is not enough to stop the force that forGG has inside of his main base now. The Terran player for Millennium, spending so much time playing in Europe, in France, is going to tie this series up against INnoVation. GG, and forGG has managed to, I'm clicking the wrong overlays, tie this up.